Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the sixth race of the Nascar Panasonic Road Course Cup Series season here from Pocono Raceway in the road course on the infield here, the North Road Course as they like to call it here in the Pocono Mountains. Qualifying was rained out because I was too lazy to do it. Just kidding, it was actually rained out because Pocono has a lot of rain in this time of the year. So the qualifying order was set off of points positions. The top 30 here has been set, and ladies and gentlemen, it's time we start the race here at Pocono Raceway. Now, this will be our last race we have in America before we head across the pond to do races in Monaco, Le Mans, Nuremberg, and we come back and we race in Canada for a few races as well. But before we can do that, we got to go through our starting lineup and do today's race here at Pocono. Starting lineup presented by Geico is getting underway here. Let's take a look here. Let me get to the rear chase. Here it is. Starting on the pole is your points leader, and Terry Lee. Terry Lee comes into this race as your points leader by a slim margin. Over second place, Ryan Newman. Newman, who lost the points lead last week after having a bad run in the crazy finish in the Phoenix Road Course race. I mean, just absolutely insane finish. He starts second today. Third place is, of course, James McMurray. McMurray has been running consistent all year and is set third here today on points. He's hoping that he can get himself a good finish today by getting this good starting position based on points. Fourth place is the number 43, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Fitzwater, ever since coming into the league this year, very consistent. Moved this cars all the way up to fourth in the points, and he's looking to close in on that points lead that Terry Lee has over him today. Fifth place in points, Carter Friesen. Friesen has had a little bit of an up and a down year, but overall has been relatively consistent, keeping him in the top 5 in points and in the range of a possibility of the championship hunt, keeping him alive. He's hoping to keep himself in the hunt today with another good finish. Gatlin Downey is your last week's winner and moved himself all the way up to 6th in points with a end move at the end of the race. He made an incredible move that got him to the front of the pack, and he's hoping that today he can have some more good moves and possibly move him up to maybe 2 wins in a row. 7th is Connor Hurley. Hurley has been running, again, relatively consistent all year. He's had some bad runs, has knocked him back a little bit further in the top 10 of points, but relatively he's still in the hunt for championship, and he's looking to maybe close in today and make that possible sight of a championship more of a up close look at the championship. John Moore, someone you don't really hear very much about in the series, just been a consistent driver that we never really pay much attention to, and always has good finishes. 8th in points coming to this race, having a good start today. Maybe he can move himself up. Rounding out the top 9 points is Matt Otten, the number 16 machine for Roush Fenway Racing. Otten having a great, not a great, but an up and down year to say the least. And starting 9th here today based on his points, hopefully he can have a good run today. And rounding out the top 10 of points is Chuck Wilson and number 42. Wilson has had, again, another interesting year, having some bad luck at the beginning of the season, but picking it up in the next few races, and then having some bad luck as of late. But 10th in points, still far out for the championship, but it's very early in the season. We can see what happens. 11th place, Nick Campbell. 12th place, Derek Hamill. 14th, Chris Asbury. 13th, Jason Larker. 16th, Landon Dotson. 15th, Rico Furrow. 18th, Brad Kozlowski alongside his teammate Daniel Knudsen. Sebastian Coles and Glenn Carson in a row next to one another. That's supposed to be the number 42 of Austin Delgado. Well, number 7 of Austin Delgado, my mistake. Delgado making his first career start today. He's taking over for Regan Smith. And starting alongside him is number 28 of No MBR. Clint Boyer and Chase Dunbar in the next row. Next to him, Brady Furl and Steve Larker. Roger Ray, Eric Benson, and the final 2 in points, Austin Dillon and Patrick Smith. The command has been given to these drivers. All 30 of them fire up their engines, getting ready to do a getting ready to do an interesting race here. Look at the pace car accelerate off. God, I think that pace car had more acceleration than these guys will have on the start. As these drivers get ready to pace off. 25 laps. Each lap led in this race. Points will be worth 3 points per lap led. And remember, we always have possibility of overtimes. As Terry Lee leads them down. Man, that's going to be annoying with that house right there. Terry Lee leads them down. Coming off the track. Getting ready. Going onto the main circuit here. And we are green. Now we're green here from Pocono Raceway. Already diving 2, 3, maybe even 4 wide further back in the pack. Knutson making it 3 wide, the first driver right there. Other drivers looking to make it 2 and 3 wide as well. As Newman gets a heck of a run behind with Fitzwater behind him. Fitzwater moves up to second place as Lee falls back to second. And look at Fitzwater getting a huge run on Newman. And look at Fitzwater go for that position. He had a victory taken away from him at at Indianapolis, and today's a day he doesn't want another one taken away from him. He has a bad run there as Gatlin Downey gets a run there. Last week's winner, John Morris, up to 4th, and we come into a very, very hard breaking point on this track. Very hard breaking point, nearly down to 30, and Newman pulls away. Newman getting away from the 43 to Fitzwater as they come through now the other parts of the track here. Drivers looking to go 2 and 3 wide now. Chuck Wilson alongside the 18 of Carter Friesen, coming down into another hard left-hander. Going to come back onto a right-hander, then a left-hander back onto the main circuit. As Friesen tries to clear the 42, but the 42 gets hit run on the inside. Now he has the advantage. He'll have the advantage on the inside now, but with the 18 of Friesen will get an advantage on the inside of this corner. Coming back onto a hard left-hander that brings him back on the track. Look at Wilson get a run the outside. Oh, but nearly hits the wall. Friesen gets that position. We complete lap 1. It's all Newman. Hello, Newman. He's trying to recapture the points lead in this race as he runs around this track. You may look at this, you may go, wow, this looks like the oval. Well, get ready, because after this next corner in turn 2, these guys will have a sharp, hard breaking point they have to gain on. And look at Fitzwater draft up to the 31 of Newman. Fitzwater getting a run here, trying to see if he can make a move. Look at him get a run on that corner. Hard breaking point now. Fitzwater right on the 31's back bumper. Oh, man. Downey dives it in there. Downey gets a nose in under Fitzwater, but Fitzwater gets the run off. Man, Downey drove that thing in deep. McMurray back there now. Running your top 5 is Morris, and you see Friesen still battling. It would look like the 42 as they even it out finally. We'll bring up your top 10 here as these guys zing around this track to complete lap 2. This will be another 3 points for Ryan Newman. I mean, Fitzwater, even though he's fallen back at this moment, he is driving very aggressively only on lap 2. He knows every lap led by that 31 will give the 31 more points over him. Because 31 could lead almost every lap, and then the 43 could pass him for the win, and 31 finish second. 31 will get more points than the 43. He dominated the race. You know, this tries to reward upfront consistency, this point system does. And right now, the 31 is trying to pull away with this thing as this moment. So we come down to this corner again. By the way, the points bonuses given out for the pole, given out for the pole position, giving out for a pole position, a top 10 qualifying spot, and the top 20 qualifying spots. Those bonus points, they will be given out to the top 10, top 20, and the win. Like the winner will get the pole points award. The top 10 will get the top 10 qualifiers points rewards, and the top 20 will get the top 20 points rewards qualifying. So if you understand what I mean by that, good for you. If you don't, I don't know how really to explain much better. As Fitzwater rides in second, Downey in third, McMurray in fourth, Morris in fifth, Lee in sixth, our points leader. 7th is Friesen, 8th is Wilson, 9th is Hurley. Running your top 10 is Derek Hamill, 11th is Otten. Let's take a look further through the field here. Ooh, there's a pass right there. 7 of Delgado makes a pass on the 14 of Coles. And just to let everybody know, I'm getting a lot of messages about this. Patrick Smith again has been changed. It's not Logan Smith, it's Patrick Smith. I changed this a while ago. Oh, the 48 of Roger Ray. Bad luck strikes him again. What happened to the 48 of Roger Ray? We don't have a caution on the track, but the 48 has some issues here. As we will take a look at the replay here really quickly of the wreck, as we do not have a caution. We'll take a look here. Now then we'll bring it back to the live footage of the race. Man, he has some heavy damage. Oh, he looks like people checking up into that final corner. I guess he rear-ended the 3 or something. Let's take a look here. Oh, drove right into the back of him. Man, that destroyed the rear end of Dylan's car. So we'll just go back to the live footage now. That's what happened there. And you take a look at these guys. All close, but not really getting close enough to pass anybody. Excuse me, I'm doing this a little bit later at night. As Newman leads. The lead cut down a little bit there after lap 4 being complete. And with that lap being complete here from Pocono Raceway, we're going to take a short commercial break. Stay tuned. We're going to have more racing here from Pocono. Hello and welcome back to the NASCAR Panosonic Road Course Cup Series here from Pocono Raceway. And you take a look as the battle for the lead is tightening up. The knot is getting tighter for the lead. As you see now, possibly even 3 drivers closing in now. As it's not just Fitzwater and Newman, as Downey's closing in now. And look at McMurray. He's right back there. He's right back there too. And Morris is there as well. So we come around to complete lap 6 here. These drivers, I don't know when they're going to have to pit. They're going to have to pit sometime here in this race. I doubled the fuel, so they will have to pit. Oh, man, Newman ran off the track, I think, a little bit right there. See Newman coming off this corner. I think it's 2 times fuel. Let me check. I can't check, so I'm hoping there is. But take a look here. Battlefield getting a little bit tighter as Newman. The thing is, Fitzwater gains on Newman in the speedway part of this track. You see, Fitzwater will gain on Newman through this part. What Fitzwater loses him on is the road course part. Interesting, because Fitzwater seems to be a very good road course driver, but Newman seems to beat him there. And we have green flag pit stops. It'll be interesting to see if someone will beat another person off, possibly, on the pit lane. And look at Fitzwater close in there. It's such a hard breaking point. And Fitzwater overbreaks it. And here comes Downey to the inside of Fitzwater. Wow. Fitzwater overran that breaking point. And wow, Fitzwater runs off a little bit right there. Gets a little loose. Very narrow part of this track right here. Very, very narrow. As we come through Still tracking behind Newman, trying to gain on him as much as he can here as we complete lap 7. We'll take a look through the field here a little bit and see if there's anybody really really battling with any positions here. Ooh, someone kicked up some dirt right there. Doesn't look like anybody's really battling right now. As we take a look back to the lead here. Again, Fitzwater closed up a little bit closer to the 31 there. Closest we've seen him is, I believe, this at a .73 is the distance. And Newman trying to keep gaining on him. But Fitzwater is just... Look at Fitzwater get a draft on him through these corners. Fitzwater looks low, but I don't think you can get him on the low line here at this track, at that part right there. It's very hard to pass through there. And then Fitzwater, oh man, maybe Fitzwater might try to outbreak him at one of these points. Man, Downey drives that thing in there that time. And then Newman just drives away. Newman has such a better drive off compared to everybody on that corner. And Downey, even though Downey looked like he overdrove it a little bit, still kept some time on Fitzwater. As he's only last time by, he was only a second, .46 off. And the 43 of Fitzwater trying to gain on Newman. As we come off the final corner here. What will the times be this time by? The times will be cut down a little bit more, down to a .62 now. Newman losing a little bit more of that lead as Fitzwater closes in. Can he make a move somewhere on this track? And look at Fitzwater try and close the gap on him here. Man, but Fitzwater, it looked like Fitzwater lost some time on him there through that part of the track. Usually Fitzwater's a lot closer to him here, but not this time. Downey falls back as well. But Fitzwater's closing up on him now, and let me tell you what, get right off this corner. Instant braking zone. You want to slow this thing down instantly. And Fitzwater closes in. But it's because such a slow speeds around this part of the track. Just speed back up here. You get right through here. And the thing is, Fitzwater's got to get close. If Fitzwater can get close to him, he can try and pressure him. Try and put pressure on the 31 to make him have a mistake. To have him have an error. And then just maybe he can capitalize on that error. And the same thing with Downey. He wants these two to start racing so he can maybe jump on their misfortune and get them. So far, a lot of straight line racing here. And you take a look here. Coming back around. Fitzwater loses a little bit of time to him that time by. About a tenth of a second lost to him. So we look back through the field here. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Points leaders in 7th. I think your top 10's Connor Hurley. A lot of single file racing here. As this track, it's very narrow when they race in the road course circuit. But I'm telling you what, these guys draft up to one another so well. I tell you what, if the 43 could get a run on Newman through that part, and then outbreak him into here, he might have a chance. Oh, man, as Fitzwater goes really wide. Here comes Downey again to the inside. Downey's got the nose down there this time. But Fitzwater's got the advantage here. But watch out, Fitzwater may overrun it. No. Because, he could have overdrove that low line. And really didn't lose any time to Newman right there. I think he might have gained a little bit of time to Newman. Wow, that's kind of surprising. Maybe the 43 has found something, a different line to run through there. So they come off this corner, they come off the corner to complete lap 10. Newman locking up 30 points. Oh no, Newman pulled away right there. Oh man, it looks like, let's take a look back here at the 23. I saw something going on back here. Oh, it looked like they were battling, but I was just wrong. Hamill moved up to 9th. I've noticed that. Hamill's gained a position. Friesen has fallen back to 6th. But still nothing around among the top 3 here as they've all pulled away. It's kind of separated themselves from one another. They've just been running consistent lap times. Will. Oh. It's right on board with the 43 Fitzwater. Do you see the 43 of Fitzwater trying to run consistent lap times, run decent around here? Just tracking behind the 31. The thing is, Fitzwater, he has had some disappointment this year with what has been going on with not only him, with not only not winning a race yet this year, but he also had one taken away from him when he dominated a race at Indy, and his teammate beat him. Now, it was a 1-2 finish for him, but, you know, Fitzwater lost that in an overtime finish. And he would love to take that back and get a good finish and get a win finally. He would love to quench his thirst with that. Take a look from the spectator view here. Interesting view. These guys zing around this track. Take a look at some of the angles here. Our cameraman's having an epileptic attack. Just take a look here. The 43 drives it deep into that corner again. 98 right behind him. Take a look back here for fourth. Fifth. Is there any people trying to make moves in this corner? Ooh, maybe 24 trying to make a move. 22 trying to make a move on 24. Nothing. Man, Fitzwater's gotten a little bit closer to that 31. He's trying to make moves here. The 31. Oh, the 31's going down pit lane. Oh no, he might not be able to make it on gas. As he's gonna have to run one more lap further than what everyone else has to make it. So that's gonna be interesting. Ooh. So only the leader pits. Oh man, and Downey's right there. Yeah, nobody else pits except. Wow, that's interesting. And look at Downey trying to make a move for the lead here. As we're expecting these guys down pit lane in the next lap or two. But Downey wants to make a point. He wants to try and get it here. And these guys, when they complete this lap, we will know they can make it on gas because they'll complete 13 laps of fuel. Where Newman, even though he pitted, he probably is going to be able to make it. We don't know. And see Fitzwater pacing the field right now. He pulls away big time from the 98. Well, who will pit this time by? I'll have to find out here as they come around the track. One last couple corners here. It's on the front stretch. Will be halfway through this race this time by. But who will pit? Who's going to pit? It looks like it's going to be Fitzwater, Downey, McMurray, Morris, Friesen, Lee. I think everybody's coming down pit lane. Every single driver's coming down pit lane. Look at them all. Every single one of them. I haven't seen one guy stay out yet. Every driver's on the same strategy. Every single driver except Newman. Newman's on a completely different strategy compared to everybody else. Where will he come out on the track compared to the rest of the field? We're watching him come around now. Where will Newman come out? He's coming back around. Comes back down to a breaking ball. He comes back onto the track now. Where will he come out on the track? He's coming around now. Complete lap 13. Newman will be. Oh my God, the 43 of Fitzwater beats him off, and almost the 98 as well. Fitzwater beats off the 31. What? That is a very good pit stop by the 43 here, and that could have been a move to help him win the race. Oh, but here comes Newman. Newman's got to run, though. Watch out here. Fitzwater's got the position in pit lane, but can he hold him off on the track? Newman's got a huge run. He's going to have to block him down in this corner. Watch him. Hard braking point. Newman going to look. He blocks the low line. Downey right there now. Fitzwater pulls away. And Newman going to be tracking in his footprints. Looking for a moment to leap on his flaws. One possible flinch. Look at Newman just stalk him. Oh, man. 43 entered a little bit lower. A little bit higher. And the 31 entered a little bit lower. Man, the 31's right there. Ooh. Watch him. Watch him. Oh, the 31's going to try and stick his nose in. Side by side for the lead. And the 31 looks like he's going to get it. Newman back to the point here. Wow. Newman has a powerful machine here today. But here comes Fitzwater back on the outside. They're going to still be side by side for the lead. Can Fitzwater hold it on the outside down through one? He's got the outside line run. Newman has a lower, has to slow it down a little bit on the inside, but he's got a shorter way around the track. Newman gets really loose right there. Look how close Newman gets spinning the 43 and nearly loses control of the vehicle. He loses so much momentum down this back stretch. The 43 pulls away. Now the 98's almost going to be on his back bumper. But can Newman chase the 43 back down? He had the speed to do it last time. Can he do it again? Man, Newman dives it in there hard. Newman does not want to give up this victory. He wants to be the first driver to win 2 races this year. So we have 5 races this year, 5 different winners. And Newman's again closing back in on him. Remember, Newman is better on the road course section of this track. Fitzwater doesn't look to have as good of a handling car. And look at Newman close the door, close in. Fitzwater did a great job holding him off last time. Can he hold him off again? Newman loses a little bit of time coming off those final 2 corners. And now, with 10 laps to go, what's going to happen? I honestly don't know. But before we find out, we're going to have to take one more short commercial break here from Pocono. So stay tuned, more racing from Pocono Raceway. Hello and welcome back to the NASCAR Panosonic Road Course Cup Series here from Pocono Raceway, and you see the 43 of Fitzwater still holding off the menacing charge from Ryan Newman. As you see, Newman and Downey now both gaining on the 43. The 43 had a great pit stop putting him out in the lead here, and now we'll take you the rest of the way with no more commercial breaks from Pocono Raceway. And you see Fitzwater right now is having a Fitzwater right now is trying to have more decent runs. He is trying to make his way to the points lead in this series. With 8 laps to go, if he continues to lead these laps, he should gain a ton of points here today. As he leads yet another lap. 8 laps to go. He puts some time on Newman. He doubles his lead on Newman and doubles his lead on Downey. Looks like Fitzwater's pulling away with this thing. But remember, there's always that chance of a late race caution. So in a very clean race here today, besides the 48 of Ray ramming into the rear into somebody. Roger Race had a terrible year, by the way. Just a horrid year. And Newman is falling off. Look at Newman falling off here. And actually, it looks like Downey's gaining on him here. Maybe Newman raced off his tires early in that run trying to get around the 43. I have a feeling, I don't know, I have a feeling that this year that these 3 drivers at the front could be drivers that you could see racing for a championship at Watkins Glen at the end of the season. I have that feeling as Fitzwater paces them still. They blast off that corner. McMurray, you see him back there a little bit. Coming around to 7 to go. Can Fitzwater hold this lead for 7 more laps around Watkins Glen? I mean, not Watkins Glen. Around Pocono Raceway's North Road Course. He's praying for these guys to keep a nice, clean, consistent race. Have nothing go wrong and anything like that. So he comes around here. Newman loses more time to him. Downey loses more time to him. All these drivers. Ooh, actually, 621.650. Wow. McMurray gained a ton of time on him that time by. But he's got 2 cars to pass and 3.5 seconds more to gain. Let's talk about someone further back in the field here. The number 22 with Daniel Knutson. Someone who's around in the points. He's been around just outside the top 10 in points. But he's been around this year. He's had a relatively consistent year. He's had good runs. And is looking relatively consistent. He's hoping that he can have he's hoping that he can have a good year this year. He's hoping that he can improve his season this year, I should say, and more than anything else. And then Nick Campbell in the number 24 car went off to a pretty good start, and then has been kind of falling off a little bit. He's been doing all right, but it's nothing like the beginning of the season. As we have a side-by-side battle here from this position, it's a good little battle here for I believe the top 10 between Landon Dotson and the 23 Connor Hurley, still side by side. It's a narrow track, but they're making it work. They come around here. Still side by side. More dirt being kicked up here. Trying to watch this battle. 23 of Hurley. 95 of Dotson. Dotson gets a really good inside line run right off that corner there. And move Dotson up to inside the top 10 now. And Hurley back to 11th. As Newman's gained a little bit on Fitzwater. But he's going to need to gain a lot more with 6 laps to go. As we take a look through the field a little bit more. Oh, Logan Smith. Well, Patrick Smith trying to get the number 41 of Benson. Benson's moved up. Eric Benson's moved up quite a bit in this race. I see more drivers running around this track. Last week's winner, well, not last week's dominant driver, the number 3 of Austin Dillon, has not had the race that we thought he would have. They put him in this car again this week, and not going to have a good race, and he's probably not going to be racing next week unless they change their minds and give him another shot. Probably won't be racing. Fitzwater comes around the 5 laps to go. Patrick Smith, Gatlin Downey right there in 3rd. Jamie McMurray in 4th. John Morris in 5th. Again, a driver you don't really mention very much about, but again, running very consistent, having a very good race like he usually does. Carter Friesen, his teammate right there as well. Let's check the Joe Gibbs team. So, the highest running Gibbs car, John Morris in 5th. Next highest running Joe Gibbs car in 6th is Carter Friesen. Jason Larker, all the way back in 16th, is the next best running Gibbs driver. 28th is where Steve Larker is. Has been having a terrible year, Larker has. Larker Brothers been the bottom 2 at what's it called? At Joe Gibbs Racing. But I mean, just Steve Larker's had a terrible season. He's had some very bad luck. Not only if that's very bad luck, but just not been having the finishes that, he probably should deserve. As these drivers in the top 3 here. McMurray's still kind of chopping into a lead here, but he only has 5 laps to do anything with it. As he's closing in on the drivers in front of him. These drivers looking relatively clean. It's going to be looking like it's going to be an all-green finish. And as long as that happens, it looks like the number 43 should be going to victory lane as long as he can just hold them off for 5 more laps. 4 now as we come around here. 4 to go this time by for Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Fitzwater, an Australian, coming into the league here. Everyone else is a NASCAR driver from America, where Fitzwater he claims his home turf in Australia, the land down under. Women grow and men plunder. Can't you hear that thunder? You better run. You better go take cover. Second is Newman. 3rd, Gatlin Downey. 4th, McMurray. 5th, Morris. And you see these drivers coming around here. It's looking like the 43 is pulling away even more. Terry Lee, your points leader coming into this race as we come to 3 laps to go. I do not know if he'll still be the points leader coming out of this race. As Newman led, I believe, 12 laps, giving him 36 bonus points in laps led, and adding on 36 bonus points. And looking to have a relatively good race going on in second place. Newman will probably get 226 points out of this race as long as he doesn't lead any more laps. And not only that, but he is in 7th, and the number 30, and for 7th place, get 135 points. So he'll gain around 100 points on Newman. Will gain 100 points on him out of this race if everything stays the way it is right now. As we come around here, coming to 2 laps to go. Remember, we cannot end races under cautions. So if there's a caution, we will have a green-white checkered finish. Or an overtime, whatever you want to call it. So we come around here to 2 laps to go. We take a look through the field one more time. All these drivers. Man, Coles runs really wide right there. Holding on. They have to hold on for just 2 more laps. 2 laps to go this time by. Zachary Fitzwater Jr. hoping to reclaim bad luck from Indianapolis and get a second win for his team of Richard Petty Motorsports. RPM having a very good season so far. And they are looking to be putting on yet another whooping with Zachary Fitzwater Sr. The pit crew had a tremendous pit stop, putting him out in the lead. And it's been all lights out since for Fitzwater. So he comes around here. This race has been caution-free. I think the last race that was caution-free was... I think we've had a caution-free race yet this year. Have we? I'm trying to think back. Have we had a caution-free race this year? Mid-Ohio wasn't. Watkins Glen wasn't. Indianapolis wasn't. Las Vegas wasn't. Phoenix definitely wasn't. No, this will be our first caution-free race this year. So very interesting here. As we come around to complete the white flag lap, we'll have our first clean race of the NASCAR Panosonic Road Course Cup Series season. And we'll be happy all around. White flag is in the air for Zachary Fitzwater Sr. He comes around to get the white flag lap, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Yes. Here they come. Newman gained a little bit on him that time by, but I don't know if he will do very much. I don't know if he could do very much by gaining 0.8 on him around this lap. Coming off of turn 1. Fitzwater has to do what he's done 24 times in this race already one more time. To him, it probably seems simple. To us, it seems just agonizing to see if he could possibly pull this off. Through turn 2, Fitzwater goes. Off of turn 2. Now into a hard braking point to turn 3 of this road course. Here comes Newman. Newman dives it in. Can't make a move. Newman will have to try and make moves through the waving S's, the turns of the road course section of this road race track. Newman tries to close in just a little bit. Downey back behind him. McMurray even further. But right now it's just the top 2 battling for this win. Fitzwater has fought through adversity. Dominated races this year, but has not been able to close the deal out. Today could be the day. Cheers on the pit box of the 43 as the Australian Zachary Fitzwater Sr. comes out the final corner. Zachary Fitzwater wins at Pocono Raceway. Great race for Fitzwater here as he dominates the final portion of this race and wins. Behind him will be the number 31 of Ryan Newman. 3rd will be Gatlin Downey. 4th, McMurray. 5th will be John Morris. 6th will be Friesen. 7th will be our points leader, probably not after this race, Lee. 8th will be Wilson. 9th will be Hamill. 10th will be Dotson. 11th will be Hurley. 12th will be Otten. 13th Campbell, 14th Knutson, 15th will be, no, 16th will be Larker, 15th will be Kozlowski, 17th will be Carson, 19th will be Asbury, 18th will be MBR, 21st will be Benson, 23rd will be Furl, 24th will be Smith, 25th will be Boyer, 20th will be Dunbar. Oh, he's got some damage. We'll take a look at what happened there. Brady Furl will be 26th, 28th. Wow. Something happened with these guys here. Why are these guys so far back? As the race finishes. What happened here? Oh, we got a wreck at the finish! My mistake. Oh, what the... What was that? What was that? What was that? What the hell was that? Hold on, what did that happen to Dunbar too? Hold on 1 second. He just slows down and then just... What the... This doesn't happen to... And what happens just slows down and then just... What the hell? Just... I just gotta know something. What was the cockpit view of that? What was the cockpit view of that? What the? Okay. Okay, here's your official results right here. Fitzwater wins and all this crap. There you go. What was that? Next, we're taking some leave and we'll be back at Monaco for the first international race of the season, 30-lap race at Monaco. Hope to see you people there. What the hell was this race? What the hell was that finish? Like it was an interesting race. It wasn't a super interesting race, but what the hell was that? Anyway, I hope people enjoyed, and I'll see you at Monaco. Goodbye.